y'all, it's your girl Sha. Welcome to my channel if you are new here, and welcome back if you are a firm subscriber in Sha Squad. So happy to have you here. Today's video is going to be the second video of my reset series. One of my goals this year is to work on my financial health, and that really pertains to seeing what my needs are versus my wants, and that has been something that I've been working on for quite some time now. But we're getting there. We're getting there. So this year I got this book called The Black Girl Budget, and it's pretty much just a simple journal with lines to get you to see everything related to your budget, and I like to write things down. So I do have like an online Excel spreadsheet for my budget, but I also like to just keep track of things like when I get home or like the weekends, and I just like mark down what I actually spent. Lately, I have been trying to figure out what are some big expenses that I can eliminate because they are not a necessity. So after doing some hard digging, my camera is about to die. All right, I'm back. So today's video is just going to be about me getting my financial health together. And as you can see from the title, I have decided to give up my car, okay? I'm going to go through the 5 reasons as to why I decided to give up my car, and maybe if you are moving to a city like DC, you can possibly consider cutting your expenses, and your car being one of them. So let's hop right in. So the first reason that I'm giving up my car is because I really thought about my needs versus wants. I did a deep dive in my budget and thought about the biggest expenses that I had monthly that weren't super necessary. Was this a necessity? Did I need it to survive in the city that I'm living in? If the answer was no, I cut it out. Like rent, yes, I need to pay for my apartment. I made sure that my rent was like far below what I could potentially pay for an apartment, because it's a part of my goal to live below my means. So as you saw in my apartment hunting vlog here, I specifically stated that I'm looking for apartments that are below my budget so that I'm not working to pay rent, because when I did that. The next big thing on my list, which I really had to come to terms with, y'all, as you can see in the title, was my car. Okay, let me give you a little backstory on my car. So as some of you know, I lived in Harlem from like 2016 to like the end of 2019-ish. I don't remember. But when I lived in Harlem, I did not need a car. Like, it was more of a hassle. It was such a burden to have a car living in New York City. So I'm like, why am I gonna put myself through that? I walked to work, or I could take the train to work, or it wasn't a necessity. But at the end of 2019, I moved back home to my parents' house in Rockland County. And Rockland County is a suburbs of New York where you need a car to survive. You cannot not have a car over there. Like, if you don't have a car in Rockland and you're taking the bus, no shade to anybody who's doing that, but it's hard. Like, you will be waiting forever. Ubers out there are not super consistent. Like, you need a car. So when I lived at home, I was like, you know what? Let me get a car, because I don't know how long I'm gonna be home for. The pandemic hit, so I was like, you know what? Let me just get a car. So I got a car. When did I get that car? Like sometime at the end of 2019, like November-ish. So I got a car then, and spent the whole 2020 at home. Needed the car. Like, it was definitely necessary for me to have that car there. So it was a necessity. But now that I live in DC, I really started to think about how often I'm using the car. Like, can you see your life without it? The second thing, I only drive it twice a week, if that. Like, I work remotely for the most part. We do go into the office every Tuesday and Thursday. But when I go into the office, I just drive my car, which is like maybe like a 25-minute ride from my apartment. Drive my car. Sometimes there's traffic. Sometimes it's just like annoying. Parking is free at my job, so that's not terrible. But I do pay for parking in my apartment, so that's another thing that's gonna come down the line. So I only drive twice a week. Every other day, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I work from home. So I don't really need it, but I don't use it that much. That's pretty much the point of this point. I don't use it that much. I only use it, like, I need it twice a week, but I don't even need it. So at the end, I sound crazy, but at the end of December, no, in December, I decided to act like I didn't have a car, even though my car was sitting in the garage. So I took the metro to work, and y'all, it was so much easier than driving. Like, driving wasn't a pain, but there were times where traffic, like coming home, was very, very annoying, and I would just be sitting there like, oh my gosh, I'm wasting time. So when I took the metro, it was like there were no delays. I know people in DC are like, just wait on it, like the metro derails and like all this stuff, but I haven't experienced that yet, honestly. So I'm okay for right now. So I had to really think about, do you use this car, or how often is it sitting in the garage just chilling? And it wasn't often. So I came to terms with that. It was easy though. It helped getting home a lot easier, but it was more expensive to drive than it was to take the bus home, which I just figured out. Okay, so yeah. Thirdly, having a car here is costly. Like, it's just an unnecessary expense for me. So I'm still paying for my insurance and my car note. So I'm gonna be super transparent about everything right now. So my car note was $292 and my insurance was $213. I had a Honda Accord Coupe. So it's not a super fancy car, but I guess because it's a sports car, insurance was a little bit more. Parking in my apartment is currently $92.50. But after my lease is up, if I decide to stay here next year, it would be $185. And I'm not paying $185 a month to park my car. Like, I'm just not doing that. So I calculated everything, and then like gas and toll, like whenever I went home, which was getting to be quite often during the holidays, and like we had different celebrations or whatever. So it was just getting to be a lot. So I would be saving almost like $700 a month just by getting rid of my car. Like $700 right back in my pocket a month. Yeah, that's the main reason why I did it. The fourth reason, I really hate paying for car maintenance. Is it just me, or like every time I need an oil change, I'm tight. Every time I need brakes, I'm pissed. Every time I need new tires, I'm livid. Like, I just don't like paying for my car. Outside of like, okay, these are the fixed expenses I need to pay for my insurance, my car note, yada yada. But any other maintenance issue, please miss me. Please miss me. I don't enjoy it. It literally hurts my soul. So eliminating that right now is like a top priority. You could even ask my dad if you know him. Every time he would tell me, Shy, you need to get the brakes, I'm like, okay, and then like, all right. Like, I don't care to pay for car maintenance. I don't. My future husband is going to have to figure that out, because it's not happening for me. Like, I'll get a car when I have a family and like children and stuff, but it's just me, myself, and I. And I don't need it to survive. Like, I don't need it. And the final reason why I'm getting rid of my car is so that I can learn DC a little bit more. DC is a city where if you're driving to me and just getting to like point A, point B, you miss everything around you. At least for me. I'm like glued to the GPS and I'm like, this is where we're going. This is where I'm going to stop. I don't take the time to figure out like what's around me. I was taking the metro the other day, and I remember months ago, I was searching for a Chase bank close to me. Like, just any Chase bank, or even just like an ATM. I'm walking to the metro the other day, and there is one 2 blocks from my apartment. Didn't see it, because I literally never drive on that street. But now that I'm walking and just like experiencing different areas, I saw the Chase ATM. And I don't use the ATM like that, but like sometimes I need it, and I didn't want to go in the whole opposite direction when there's one so close to me. So I'm going to use this as an opportunity to just explore and experience DC and actually feel immersed in DC culture. Because when I was living in Harlem, I knew Harlem and I felt a part of Harlem because I was walking everywhere, taking the train places, just like being in the community. I knew where parks were. Like, I don't know where a lot of things are here. Granted, okay, I'm new, yes, but I didn't spend the summer really exploring like I should have, because I was just like, oh, my friend wants to go to brunch, whoop, let me drive there. Oh, somebody wants to meet me at so-and-so, whoop, let me drive there. Like, it wasn't, I just didn't feel connected to DC, as you know from my previous video. But again, we're getting there. We're working on it, okay? Those are the main reasons as to why I gave up my car. The main thing was saving a lot of money. I would say my main two, so out of that list, the top two reasons, one was saving a ton of money, and two, exploring and getting to know the city. Like, everything else is important on that list as well, but the top two things, if you put money in my pocket and I get to experience something, that's it. All right, that's it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I know this is another chit-chatty video, but the next video, I promise you there's gonna be some action. It'll be a little vlog style, you know? Until next time, bye.